Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
You're listening to Comics Podcasting on the edge of civility.
You're listening to The Mean Geek, episode 156.
Dude, I have almost never wanted to punch you more. And it's been 20 fucking years. What are you doing to me with this thing? Shark fucking NATO?
Look, man, if you have a better shark hurricane combination film in your queue, you let me know.
Nobody does. It doesn't exist. Because that would imply that better would be good. And it's not possible for a Shark Tornado movie to be good. The hell's wrong with you?
Commodore Wife fires off with a Jerry Seinfeld impersonation.
Yeah.
Because our podcasts are all about getting rid of the bad and the crappy moments. Yes, that's what we do.
Doggone it. I love this night. I hate this movie. I love this night.
Dude, that is a lot of fake shark innards all over him.
That is a lot of fake shark innards. This movie has been pathetic beyond pathetic. And yet Dante thought it was like the most mind-bogglingly awesome thing made.
Oh, God, that's disgusting.
No, you can't kiss somebody
Don't
whose
kiss
face
Tara
is covered
Reid.
with shark guts.
That's not the problem. It's that friggin' tan goblin thing.
Tara Reid, Goblin King. Where has she been lately? Down in the deep of Goblin Town.
Wow. I can't wait for Sharknado 2.
Finn. Ah, yeah, see? Finn. Finley Shepherd. What a load of crap. Wait, did that thing just have a theme song?
Of course it did.
I don't want to know the theme song.
No.
Yeah, no. Not didn't like. Hated. God. I watched Jedi Junkies.
Did you?
Yep. Yeah. Olivia Munn's a pain in the ass. She's like, oh yeah, I've always loved Star Wars. And I'm sure that's true. I'm certain of it. You know, a lot of girls like Star Wars. But, she just had the dorkiest stuff to say about it. And I'm not even, like, interesting dorky stuff. I'm like, I can't believe this is coming out of your mouth kind of stuff.
Well, not everyone can talk intelligently on their interests, as we prove on a weekly basis here on this podcast.
Yes, pretty much. What is this now? Jonathan Venkenheim led a documentary crew to the rim of the Arctic Circle looking for Frankenstein. Okay, I really don't want to hear what he's actually saying. I played a couple of video games this week.
Oh, yeah? What'd you play?
I played the Walking Dead game, the one with the seasons, and I hate it.
Really?
I despise it.
Now, you got this for the computer?
Yes. The controls are abhorrent. They're just, what are you making me do?
Now, is this like the good-looking one, or is this like the little mini-me type game?
No, it looks okay. I mean, it's
because there were two
visually
games, right? Like
there's that stupid social one,
right?
And then there's the real one. No, this is not the social one. This is the big one where there's a story and survivors and a little girl named Clementine. You have to
oh my
see
darling,
the various
oh my
points.
darling.
But it's like one of those old style games where you would have a camera view, and then you would walk a little bit, and the entire camera view would change.
So it's Zombie
and you
Doom?
were only allowed to look in one direction at a time. And it was absolutely terrible. And things would light up only when you could interact with them. And you could only interact with them when they lit up. So you'd pass something 100 times, but until the script said you were supposed to do something about it, you couldn't do nothing.
Fun.
And it also had that weird timing bullshit, like a zombie's walking up to you, and you're like, why aren't I shooting them? and then suddenly a crosshair will pop up in front of them, and you click on the crosshair rather than hitting the firing button or whatever, and then you get to shoot the zombie in the face.
Sweet.
Dumb.
All right, so
Terrible.
that was not so great.
And keeping in that vein, I played No More Room in Hell.
I'm going to assume also a zombie game.
Yes, sir.
Also for the computer?
Yes, sir. And this one is a multiplayer online survival horror game. You don't do any leveling up or nothing like that, but you do have a team and you do have objectives. And it seems like it's going to be okay, but I don't know if it's configured wrong or if I did something to it and I wasn't supposed to when I installed it, because the amount of lag just walking around and doing things, it makes it almost completely unplayable.
Sweet.
And it looks good, and it's got some interesting mechanics.
So you're going to have to work it out, see if you can...
Actually play it.
And you borrowed a game from me.
I did. I haven't touched Arkham City yet. I'm not ready to go back to Mr. Freeze. And I played a couple community add-on mods for Left 4 Dead.
Never done that.
Well, you couldn't because you're on the you're not on the PC. I played Blood on the Moors.
Really? Are you Sherlock Holmes fighting zombies?
You're out in England for some bizarre reason. Somehow you got on a plane and it crashed on the moors, and you got to go around various little villages and, avoid zombies. It's huge.
Now, what do they do for dialogue in these mods?
Very little. Almost nothing.
Okay.
Occasionally there will be something, but it's usually snippets from the game that already exists. But they're almost never timed well. Because, somebody will be Ellis, and it'll be quiet for 10 minutes, and you're just slinking around trying not to get eaten. And out of nowhere, they'll say, "Ellis, sweetheart, is this really the time?" And he didn't say nothing! I can't listen to that. You need to turn it down. We need to talk books.
I did. I turned it down.
Yeah, well, they got louder.
Look, I find you're a Frankenstein following documentary crew, and all you can do is yell at me.
We're busy. You want to, record next time?
Nah, fair enough.
Yeah, see? Aha.
Not doing this twice.
You want to go write the books, or you got anything interesting going on?
Nerd-wise, no, I got nothing. Oh, no, I found a Hong Kong Phooey comic book.
Oh, because that's going to need the next 10 minutes.
Dude, it's Hong Kong Phooey in comic book form.
Well, he's the number one super guy.
I'm telling you. From Charleston Comics.
Charlton.
Charleston Chew, Charlton Comics.
Which,
and never, ever do I get that right.
I don't know if you knew this, but Charlton used to be published in that town next to New Haven.
West Haven?
Derby.
Oh, no shit.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Kind of crazy.
You think you'd see more of them?
You'd hoped. But then again, they stopped publishing back in what, 78?
At the latest. I mean, what did they really ever have? They had some licensing books, and they had The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves.
And they had Blue Beetle.
Oh, really? Blue Beetle was Charlton?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, I did not.
Most of the Question was Charlton.
Really?
Yeah.
That was actually... Now, the Question, was that originally Ditko?
That I don't remember.
It always looks like a Ditko design. With
It
no
totally
face.
does, yeah. Absolutely. But we should do a Charlton retrospective, man. We should dig up some facts about Charlton.
And some books.
Because how many people even listening right now have ever held in their hands a Charlton book?
I know in my stuff you got some Dr. Graves. I don't know if you bothered to keep them because they're Dr. Graves.
Yeah. I went and got a, just because it looked awesome, I got a GI Combat type Charlton comic.
Nice.
It was Kooky War Tales or some shit like that. Trying to capitalize. Oh, hey. That's what you get when you almost run somebody over. They yell at you.
People are pissy about that.
Stupid documentarians. If they knew anything, would they be documentarians? Although,
Oh, dear God. All right, books.
You know what I'm talking about.
Books.
You don't care about books. You just want to yap.
Oh, okay.
But we're
books.
This is like the second time you've ever encouraged talking about the books.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's wrong with me either. I'm sober.
That's the problem. The Wake, number 3?
And 4.
Where's 4?
In the same box.
Was it really?
No, in the same...
Oh, that's right. I did the 2-issue thing. Yes. The Wake 3 and 4. In 3, I guess the Murs attack. That's pretty much the whole fucking book right there.
Well, the
It's
first...
just wall to seawall action.
Well, the first 3 is when the merman they've captured attacks.
Yeah.
4 is when the 4 bajillion other ones all show up. Here's the thing. There's actually some pretty cool action and some interesting things. Now, this is a 10-issue miniseries.
Right.
Most of the people they introduced in the first 2 issues
Are gone already.
in these 2 issues. Secondly, it's very choppy.
A little bit. Yeah, it's kind of like, wait, was that a transition or did I miss something?
Yeah, like it starts off in some venom-induced dream sequence
Yeah.
that are all vaguely shark and merman related. Like one guy gets spit in the eyes with merman venom, which
Which is a
what?
frightening sentence.
But and then he imagines having a dolphin whale for dinner or whatever the fuck that was.
At some point, somebody whips out the merman's backstory with this some
Oh, the ancient myth
the
of the
Dutch that dressed like Thulsa Doom, for fuck's sake.
Thulsa Dutch.
I'm looking at him like, I don't care how far back it was. The Dutch weren't fucking. This is like pre-Atlantean Dutch.
Yeah. The Mayan Dutch.
Were they really Dutch at that point?
No, you know what? No, they were not Dutch.
I don't think so.
That guy never put his finger in a dike, okay?
Thulsa Dutch.
Thulsa Dutch.
Thulsa Dutch never put his finger in a dike. I think we found our title.
And we're going to hell. Back to Sharknado.
I don't want to go back to Sharknado, man. No, this could be a fun series. I mean, well, not fun.
It is really interesting. I like the art style, but yeah, like they spent all this time building up this slow build, and then they just fuck it.
Yeah.
And then at the end, the uber motherfucker of all giant-sized mermen, like the one that would freaking take Godzilla down, donkey punch him, and have his way with his giant lizard ass, shows up. I'm like, wait, why is there the world's largest merman coming out of the great crevasse of the sea?
Well, I mean, there's 6 more issues of mystery, aren't there?
I'm telling, it's like Snyder's just firing shit out. Like, how can I make this wackier? Giant merman, merman venom. There's a bunch of them.
Pretty much right now, I mean, he's writing his own damn ticket as it stands.
That guy killed back from the dead. Whatever I want. Prank caller, prank caller.
He's riding high on the successes of Batman and American Vampire. And Severed's got some really good reviews, even though personally I found it to be drawn out and pointless.
Fair enough.
I mean, the guy, never mind. We're not reviewing Severed yet. Wait till you read it. And that's where we stand. It's a weird book.
No, but it is interesting.
I don't get it, but I'm digging it.
I like the slower build, and I was waiting for action, and apparently, you know, when you wish for something, you get fucked. Because it's like, oh, you want action? Fuck you. Here's wall-to-wall murder gore.
Wall-to-wall murder gore. That was terrible.
I said murder gore. You threw the dur in there.
Well, it sounded like murder because you slur.
Oh, dur.
So in Star Wars 9... I don't even care about segues anymore. I'm just getting to
No,
the next
you really
fucking
have
book.
good. Your segues at best were awful. So, and speaking of titanium dogs, and we weren't ever.
That's what makes them fun.
Oh, okay.
That's not true at all. So Leia learns that her host designed the super laser on the Death Star. Just the super laser.
Now this is kind of hysterical. I have to admit.
Yeah.
Like the randomness. This is classic Marvel Star Wars.
It
Like,
totally is.
I'm the guy. I'm Alderaanian, and I created the laser that was used to destroy Alderaan. So now I am the keeper of the Alderaan faith. Oh, I found a tree floating in space. By the way, it's in one of the back rooms. You can check it out.
That did seem kind of, huh?
But you know what? Like, I didn't mind. It's ridiculous, but it's classic old school Star Wars. So I was fine with that. What drove me nuts though was how she found out by knocking over a book and his Polaroids of himself and Grand Moff Tarkin fall out.
I looked at that panel and I'm like, really, Wood? This is what you got for us? You're gonna pull out the old? I mean, really?
I was shocked that the guy didn't have 2 fingers over his hair, giving Tarkin bunny ears for fuck's sake. Like, these were the days.
That did throw me off.
Come on, Moffy.
Moffy. No Moffies.
Oh my
God! Don't ever say Moffy.
Panty raiding the stormtroopers.
Oh.
The wacky antics of an Imperial officer.
At some point, Luke and Wedge are trying to fight their way out of a Star Destroyer. Han and Chewie throw down with Fett, and Vader learns that Luke is on the Devastator. We got like 5 different plot threads going on.
Yeah, there's a little too much.
You might want to combine a couple at some point soon.
And let's not forget that Luke and Wedge's pilot is out in space like, I'm out of gas. I'm standing under a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, she's like 3/4 dead.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do out here, fellas.
It's really, like, it's a classic epic Star Wars, but it's big. And I'm like,
It's huge. The scope and scale on this fucking book is monstrous.
Much like the movies, the Han Solo parts are the best parts. the part where the weird chick that he hooked up with is his cohort while Chewie's gone is just destroying the ship because she can't fly it. And then I was not happy that Fett actually came out. I'm like, I can't watch Fett get his ass kicked for the 4,000th time.
Fett is so much like Worf. Everyone wants him to be a badass, and everybody thinks he's a badass. But it turns out that every time there's a fight, he gets fucked.
I've never watched enough to understand.
Dude, Worf is just so inept at any kind of combat. You and he actually have similar combat styles. There's an enemy! Run toward him!
Oh, okay.
Don't hit him, just run toward him!
Yeah, you get hit a lot doing that, I'll give you that.
Come on. It's terrible. And, every time somebody beams onto the bridge, he runs up to him instead of shooting them. And he puts his hands up and he's like gonna like grab him or like arm block him or something, and they just go boom. They just backhand him and fling him across the entire bridge. And he sits there going, "My honor." And everybody's like, "Damn, Worf, he kicked your ass. Are you sure you're Klingon? Fuck off. You patach."
Worst Klingon ever. Did you actually know Klingon? Is that an actual word?
That is.
You just fired off Klingon?
Yeah.
Dill hole.
Cowardly son of a bitch.
Patach.
Yeah.
Did I pronounce? I don't
yes,
care.
You're good.
Actually,
yeah, you got good intonation on that one.
That's awesome. I don't remember a fucking word of my high school French. I can't speak Spanish, but I can. My pronunciation in Klingon is awesome. My mother is so goddamn proud.
You really don't need to ever tell her.
Dude, I have so little of it. No, but say what you will about my job and my lifestyle and my ethics, but my Klingon's impeccable.
I just said
stop drinking, mother.
I just said it was good. I didn't say impeccable.
Christ.
But it's a fun book.
No, I'm totally enjoying it. It was starting to get a little bit in that. Like, this issue is much more like classic, like wacky antics in space.
Yes. Wacky antics in space. Baltimore, the Infernal Train.
Which has the least number of wacky antics of any book ever.
It has no wacky antics. Budapest is under plague, both vampires and disease, which is kind of like a double go fuck yourself.
True.
Just from nature and unnature itself.
Unnature.
Unnatural, undead. It's perfectly valid.
And Duvach, the grumpiest priest in the world, is hanging out there somewhere as well.
He has an appointment with this priest, but more things are afoot. There's a council of elder vampires and a strange device. There's some mystery thing that's probably going to destroy the world if I know anything about fucking Mignola.
Really? You couldn't remember that? That you had to look up.
I thought that was funnier.
Fair
I knew you'd appreciate that.
But
Or not.
The train aspect and the vampire fueling the train by jumping into the furnace, like that's just fucking weird.
Uh-huh.
I have not seen that before.
But, I mean, it's good. I enjoy it.
Well, this is the big test, right? This is, if Baltimore is going to get bought and not in a graphic, this one has to step up a little bit.
Yes.
And so far, this was promising.
Yeah, it's a lot more promising than the last couple where, the demons eating vampires in tanks is amusing, but hardly a really solid and, epic storyline.
I bit my wife. Now we're vampires together.
Oh, beautiful. Thanks. Next page. What? I'm so glad for the return of Takio with issue 4. This is such a fun, kick-ass little adventure book with mild comedy leanings and smart-ass kids, but smart-ass kids that you don't mind being smart-ass.
Well, they feel like kids. Well,
Yes.
the younger one feels like a kid. The older one is a little too...
She's uptight. The older sister is like, oh my god, society, expectations,
How to be heroes. Should we do this? Should we do that? Let's tell mother.
are we going to get in trouble? Should we be responsible? And the other one is like, let's punch shit! So they confront the friend's father who's been trying to dissect them, for fuck's sake.
Oh, well, or to
figure
sell
out
them
how
to somebody to dissect
Or to
them.
sell them. And he's an ambiguous little figure. He can't make up his mind whether he's like just an evil scientist or a dad who wants to do good or, what the hell is he?
I think he's an evil dad is what it comes down to. Following the comic book
But you
tradition.
get a tone that is not like that.
Well, I think that's an act because, like, when I think it's revealed, like, the true him is when his daughter's like, "This is the wrong thing to do. They're gonna come for you. Shut up." Like, he's kind of abusive in character to his own daughter when
tiny
push comes to shove.
Yeah.
So I think that's the issue: is that this is not a nice man, and her whole problem is that she had a nice friend who she betrayed for her slightly dickish father, who's trying to sell children into superhero slavery to keep his own daughter from being dissected. So, there's a kind of a theme where he's not a complete ass-hat, but there's enough ass-hattery going on.
That's hattery. Did you really just say ass hattery?
Have you met me? Of course I did.
Oh, for God's sake, man.
And sober, too.
Yeah, it's kooky. I don't know what you're doing with me. But, I want more. He needs to get his ass together. I love Oming, and Oming should do his own work, and Oming should do as much work as possible because he's a great artist. But if they got to get somebody else so that this can be halfway consistently published, I mean, it's been 18 months since the last fucking issue here.
Well, I mean, this felt like an ending of sorts. Like, this is a 4-issue miniseries kind of feel. And Bendis is not the kind of guy who will jump to another artist. He would rather not have the book come out.
Yeah, that's true. He does that with Malev, too. Which is, disappointing, because, you can get things banged out any other time. Saga was pretty dense this month.
Lot going
There was
on.
a whole lot going on, man. I could barely keep track of it all, man. Alana's stepmom gets interviewed trying to figure out where the hell she was and why she hooked up with Marco and things like that. And she's just kind of like...
Who's her classmate?
Yeah. So she's just this kind of like frumpy, housewifey, monarch butterfly.
I don't think they were trying to make her frump. I think they were trying to make her, like, dumb.
Well, she may be dumb too. I don't know.
But I think it was trying, like, the father hooks up with the classmate much later in life. Like, she's a stereotype. And days after the marriage, she joined the army.
Yeah. The Will, the bounty hunter, I finally figured out that guy's fucking name, is in some kind of weird reverie. And he just turns around and he just kisses Gwen and she just like knocks his ass out.
Well, because his dead spider bounty hunter girlfriend keeps telling him that she wants him.
Hence the reverie.
No, it's an odd little character arc there. I am enjoying the slave girl and the cat's relationship. That was really cute.
That is pretty nice.
And the Will is definitely one of the more interesting characters in the book thus far.
Right.
The part where the author vomits on the baby, however...
No, I could have done without that one, because that's just like, what the hell are you doing, dude? Hey, he's not a good guy. I don't like him at all. He's self-involved and very above it all, and he's like, dude, what? Get out.
And yet they hit at a romance between him and the mother.
And somewhere along the line, Marco's mom makes a new friend.
Yeah, there's a lot of strangeness going on in this book. It is so damn good.
Yeah, I mean, I want to mention a lot more stuff, but if people haven't read it yet, I don't mind spoiling, but there's a lot of details that, you know, if we were going to get in that kind of depth, why not just read the book out loud?
Well,
and I'm not doing that.
You do have the possibility, I will say this at the end, one of the Will's informants has discovered the location of his spider girlfriend's spaceship with the robot prince that murdered her.
Yeah.
So all the Will's, I'm moving on, gets tested. So we'll see.
He's not going to move on. Come on. That's not how characters in fiction act. Come on.
Would not make for a great plot point. Like, nope, I'm just staying here.
No. Although it would be a bit of a twist. I mean, but then what do you do with the guy? He's got no arc after that.
He's going to walk the earth.
He's just like, no, I'm going to settle
Kung
down.
Fu.
You know, I think I'll raise chickens or some shit. But
Space chicken!
Yeah, space chickens with fucking purple spots on their backs like those goddamn sharks they shot out of the sky.
Photon flippers.
Photon flippers. I know where you're coming from. I took a chance on the not particularly awesome looking initially Rat Queens.
Not a great title.
Not a great title at all. But it turned out to be a light, frothy souffle bubbling with youthful energy.
Wow.
And by that I mean there's slashing things, fantasy, punching, swearing, and girls.
Yes, it's an all-girl mercenary fantasy team with a ex-royalty mage, a trampy halfling, a grumpy fighter, and a fourth person.
Yep. And they have to pay for all the crime they've committed in town because they said they wouldn't do any more crime, so they have to go on a quest, and they're like, fuck this guy and his quest, and blah, 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 blah. But it was amusing.
It was a trap, so they could be set up. Now, it seems like all the factions, like the four Daves, are all being set up to be murdered by hitmen. I just like saying the four Daves.
The four Daves amused me.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in any fantasy thing ever, is the four Daves. But I will say, the part where all the stupid-ass looking, overly serious drow got sent to clean out an outhouse. Like, we are dark elves.
That
We are
really
magical and
amused me.
deep.
I was like,
Go clean the outhouse. And then they get murdered by a hitman on top of that. Fuck you, dark elves.
It ain't enough they got to clean up other people's dookie. Then they got to get killed for it, too. It's like,
Dude,
motherfucker.
How filthy are those toilets when you're hiring mercenaries to do that crap?
Ain't nobody wants to touch them.
Like that's like the ogre fucking urinal.
Your busboys are like, fuck that. I'm going to go milk a cow. I don't know. A space cow.
It's fantasy, man. I can go poop in the woods, man. You got to find somebody else cleaning that.
Nobody really cares, man.
There's magical unicorns and shit outside. You are not getting me to clean up ogre poop.
Oh, and thank God Revival showed up.
As we move away from ogre poop.
Yeah, I'm not talking about ogre poop anymore. There's no poop. There's no shmoo poop.
Oh, well, this is quite creepy enough without that.
Yeah, this one...
right back to the horror.
Martha tries to take whatever the little kid's name is home. But then the shmoo interferes, apparently intent on inhabiting, Jordan, right?
Yeah.
The kid was Jordan, inhabiting her. And
the shmoo seemed to be the... Oh, go ahead.
To finally cross over, the sheriff begins investigating the immolation. I don't know.
The shmoo seem to be the aspect of the soul that's missing, and by combining the two, they can move on.
Yes.
But nobody, but they don't really want the little girl to move on because she's an innocent and whatnot, and she's pretty okay with moving on. Although she will miss Christmas. So instead, they check the shmoo in the water and it dissolves, and the little girl goes full on fucking exorcist psycho.
Yeah, that worries me immensely.
That when you cut out your own eyelids so that you can make sure you can see God when he shows up. You know what? Maybe you should have let her move on.
That's some crazy Stephen King shit, right?
Yeah, that's.
But that makes it enjoyable. They're finally moving forward with some scary shit again.
Yeah, the little sister is getting darker and stranger by the second. For an undead sister figure, you got some big ass problems there. The exorcist is like people are creepy.
Yeah.
Like when the guy gets hit by a truck trying to murder you is like warning you off, like, there's some nutty people out there. That's a bad day. And the police aspect of this is so screwed up.
Yeah, they're not really getting much investigation done. I mean, they're kind of, sort of trying, but
they're
really
all over the place. They're trying to date each other.
The force
constantly.
is very ineffective.
The force is weak in this one.
But all the character moments are still awesome.
Oh, yeah. No, it's still a great book. Norton does a great job in the art. Now, did you order The Occultist, the other Celie Norton book coming?
I don't remember, but probably not. I don't remember. I'll have to
double check that.
I'll have to double check. Well, I mean, there's still time for a quick run the Sarges eventually. There's a Christmas shopping day coming.
Yeah, we do have to go Christmas shopping.
And that is part of our route when we do.
Oh, hey, yeah, that's right. I had a birthday.
Yes, you did.
That happened.
Doofus.
Forgot about that.
Why would you yell like that?
I just thought of it. It was yesterday.
It was only yesterday. I mean, there isn't enough beer around here.
You know the beer?
No. So
you confuse me.
I'm trying. So you didn't like Zero, huh?
No, not particularly.
I thought it was kind of solid. I wasn't overly impressed, but they got bionic Mid-Eastern soldiers and a Black Ops guy and a couple of handlers thrown in. It's not particularly innovative just yet, but...
I mean, there was some over-the-top ridiculousness. First off, Zero turns out to be the wrong guy, basically. This whole time you've got this psychotic secret agent versus these half-undead Arabic monster terrorist things. And in the end, the lead character is this guy's pretending to be a tank officer, just walks up and shoots them both.
Which, I found amusing. He's like, really? You're going to tell me to fuck off? Bang! He just blows him away. Nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of blood in here, though.
Yeah, it was very graphic. I mean, it wasn't... I did not enjoy it. It wasn't freaking god-awful like I let on. I just saw no new ground or point to any of this.
No, I mean, that much is true. The handlers are too busy getting busy to get anything accomplished with
that was uncalled for.
I didn't see where it came from, and they're a little too matter-of-fact about it. I'm like, really? So this is just like what? A beer at the bar to blow off steam? Is that what you guys do? Thanks, but no thanks.
Like I personally, I would not pick up a second issue based on that.
No, it's not ordered. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but what I'm saying is, in general, like if you were...
No, this was these two were take a chance months.
Right. But all I'm saying is, if you'd bought it not 3 months earlier...
Is that the fucking guy from the... Did you catch Walking Dead this week?
No.
Did you catch it last week?
I've been saving them.
Oh, for God's sake. There's this commercial for Honda, or maybe Hyundai, where they're talking about build your own zombie vehicle. And I swear that's the guy in it talking about, I've killed over 300 zombies because I'm smart and I'm fast. And I got that. And he points to the car and it's like covered in spikes and knives and machine guns and shit.
Wow. How many people buy a car based on its zombie killing potential?
Hi.
So you have a Hyundai?
No.
Shut up, then.
I got an American car. What are you talking about?
So it can break down. Right in front of this, like, well, flooded.
Well, you know what they say about Fords. Fix or repair daily. Sidekick 2?
So we get to meet the Lois Lane of the superhero Robin family book here. Darling, which are you kidding? But
Who is empathic.
yes, and feels that the cowl is not dead.
Nope.
So
In dreams and flashbacks. And Flyboy tries for a fumbled little seduction kind of thing there. And it's
Yeah,
just
that
like,
went horribly
it's
right.
Terribly wrong. It was like, dude, you didn't really... Really? Were you trying, or did you just say, fuck it, I'll go? What? I mean, come on, man. I mean, this is like high school sophomore kind of thing. Like, oh, girls.
yeah, it's very dark. Flyboy is very immature. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, this is not a well built character in the sense of moving along in his destiny. We get to see his origin, where some horrible villain murders his father and mother,
Yeah.
so he flies up to beat the piss out of
The
them.
surgeon. Ew.
Meanwhile,
Flayed his parents.
the weird freaking wacky scientist sidekick guy turns out to be like this incredibly negative and dark dude. He's like, well, what's it matter who's dead or who's alive? Grow up, live your life. What?
Well, which is really not bad advice for this particular
Well, yeah, but the
guy,
way he put it
because
was
he's-
much darker and
Well,
horrible.
sure.
So then we have, and meanwhile, the villainous character is like draining Flyboy on the side. Like, it's a dark book.
I'm not particularly happy with it either, though. I mean, the dialogue was not precisely kicking my tires here.
No, this one was really wordy. I think the book has some potential, but yeah, I'm not sure if it's going anywhere really great just yet.
Not just yet. Maybe trade one day. And that'll be...
Oh, you drawing it on 2?
Yeah, calling it even. It was only a chance taker anyway, you know. But I still love Uber.
Speaking of dark,
I love Uber, and this is issue 5, where Sieglinde, the Panzermenken... Oh my god! This is nuts.
What's up?
They just rip apart the entire fucking French countryside and Paris.
yeah.
So they got 2 levels. I don't remember if we mentioned it this last time. We got 2 levels. We got the battleships, and we got the Panzermenken. It was like the tank guys. I mean, literally like tank men.
Yep. Now the British have also managed to do the same. They have 2 levels, but
Yes.
they've got like 99 level 1s,
Yeah.
1 level 2.
But His Majesty's hero, I guess,
HMH.
Colossus, goes
I feel like that name's been
toe-to-toe
done
with
before.
Sieglinde. Huh?
I feel like that name's been done before.
Maybe. But he goes toe-to-toe with Sieglinde, and she
Gets
kicks
his ass kicked badly.
terribly.
Gets warped
Horribly.
into basically an Escher painting of fucking dog shit. He gets fucked up so badly that they have to take his screwed up body aside and figure out how to kill him for mercy's sake. And they do so with a industrial pneumatic drill. This is not a happy book.
Nope.
Wow.
But it's executed so amazingly. I'm so down with this book.
It's a good book. It is really dark, but it is really interesting. Now, this is the end of the first arc at this point.
Yes.
So,
The Japanese come in next issue.
is there a next issue? I wasn't sure if that was
Yep.
going to be a while yet or not. Like,
Yep.
the way the reviews were being read a little bit, it wasn't sure how long they were going to be in between.
Yeah, number 6 is now out.
Okay.
It's back at the house. It's very different in tone.
Oh, that makes sense.
Very different. God is dead, as each said. Oh, I see you rubbing your forehead already. That can't be good.
Well, there's a lot
It's a Hickman book.
There's a lot of big concept ideas. All the gods are returning to Earth, to reclaim their territory. Zeus, Odin, Bast, Anubis, and they have a couple of quick vignettes, but they don't really do very much.
No, it's barely anything actually occurs.
It's all, once again, like every freaking Hickman book, it's all concept.
Yep.
It's like, hey, let's hang out. Oh, we've got slaves, so you can sacrifice.
Yeah, come on. I mean, and I thought Hickman could only write double talky horse shit. You know, I was like, oh, convoluted. Oh, here's a giant library in space that is somehow responsible for a group calling themselves the Builders, who just want to destroy everything. Thanks a lot, you fucking tool. But I mean, as a start, it's not a bad idea. Everybody but Yahweh comes back,
Basically.
which seems exclusionary to me. I mean, come on. If you're going to bring them all in, you're missing two huge things there. You're missing...
Well, I'm sure that will come up in
maybe,
some sense.
you know, it's Hickman. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, like he's going to ignore the possibility to address the general god.
It is an Avatar book, so you never know. I mean,
Yeah.
even Image might shy away from that, but Avatar,
Nope.
they're like, give me that shit.
Yep.
Fuck everybody. We want to do some craziness.
Yeah. But yet, not a lot happened. Like, for something so big in scope.
Yeah.
And then there's this big god meeting at the end where they're going to plot out how they're going to retake over the earth.
Good luck. But, you know, I got number 2, and I read number 2, and I'm like, so this is just...
Well, you got the first 4 or 5, didn't you? No,
Well, I mean, they're all ordered, but they
Yeah.
didn't come in yet.
no, that's what I mean. But it's a book you've ordered for a while.
Yeah.
You're planning for at least not necessarily the long haul, but, you know.
I want to get a good chunk of it in so
You
I
packed a
understand
lunch.
what he's thinking.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I have read stuff of his I enjoyed, so I'm thinking if we move away from Avengers, we might get a decent book.
Right.
You know? I think that's a fair cop, don't you?
Now, what of his have you enjoyed?
Pax Romana was good.
Also high concept, low action, but yeah, like
Yeah.
clever. I mean, the thing with Hickman is always clever ideas in play.
Yeah.
Like, the concepts are always very well thought out and whatnot. I'm never a huge fan of the execution because nothing happens except for large one-page...
Yeah.
Somebody needs to punch somebody in these a little more often.
Do you even want to talk about this? Or is it just too twacked out to bother?
You know, I'm set. You made me read it.
We're going
I
to put
did.
this down to the bottom of the deck. Maybe we'll come back to it. Reality Check kind of bored me to death.
Was that your experiment or mine? Because I could not remember that one.
I don't want to sound like I'm pawning it off on you. But I think I was on the edge, and you said, we need another, give it a go.
That sounds
I'm
like
pretty sure.
Here we have a guy who's...
If you can remember different,
No,
tell me.
you know what?
and
I'll take the bullet on this one. It's not a terrible idea. A guy who's overly obsessed with comics and sadly women is writing his own relatively crappy comic
that somehow gets picked up.
and selling out amazingly well about a hero who has trouble with women as well.
It's really, really referential. It goes back to itself and other books a lot.
But meanwhile, our heroes, and I use the term loosely, the writer's brother died at a young age. He was the handsome, well-adjusted, good at everything one. So Lumpy McSugarboobs here fucking moves on with his life, screwing things up royally, left and right, and yet wakes up to find his computer empty and a superhero in his place.
Yes.
Like, you must have figured out by now that I've left your mind and I need your help.
Which in itself is kind of like, I don't even know how to describe that. I want to say I hate it, and I want to say it's mildly clever at the same time, but I just can't muster up enough enthusiasm for the execution to really give a fuck.
It's the execution. The idea itself is not horrible. Like the idea that your own character came out, fine. Not a new idea by any stretch of the imagination, but so be it. On the other hand, though, the fact that I have to read what is not a particularly interesting comic book and they're telling me, oh, it's amazing, doing amazingly well, and this guy is awesome. I'm like, no. Are we in an alternate universe where everyone is like 3 degrees dumber? Because we should know that. That would be a key
They
point.
ought to tell us if that's our expectation, and we could probably work with that.
In
But
a
they
world
don't
far,
bother.
far away and 3 degrees dumber than the one you currently reside in.
In a world where all IQ points have dropped by 3.
Terrible.
This bad Batman ripoff of, I like the ladies, but the ladies want to dump me, so I'm going to punch you out. What was it, where he's fighting the devil inside quickly so he can go
Yes.
hook up with his evil villain girlfriend who
Yes.
actually is
Yes.
bored with their relationship?
Yes. Wonk, wonk, wonk.
Ugh! Yeah, no, its execution is killing me.
Now, I know you want to talk almost exclusively. You don't even want me to say a damn word
Oh, you go right ahead.
about. No, I'm letting you. I'm letting you off the leash.
Brother Lono is the perfect. Like, this is the importance of graphics comes into play with 100 Bullet books. Brother Lono, there's so much going on. Lono is on a reservation for orphans. Like, they have so much land, and they're surrounded by evil Mexican drug lords. But meanwhile, an ex-orphan, Paulo,
yeah.
Paulo, okay, good God. I actually made it worse. Paulo has gone off to be a gangbanger on his own, and they
Right.
think he's been burying bodies on the grounds, but they're not entirely sure. People are dying left and right. Brother Lono is imagining biting his finger off,
Which doesn't make a lick of damn sense.
but is inherently gross.
Yeah.
And there's a nun who's possibly a spy for the drug cartels. And meanwhile, the priest is fighting with his otherwise okay relationship with the drug lords. So now the drug lords are going to claim the land is their own so that
So
no
that
one will
nobody
bury
else-
people on them anymore. Worst fucking plan ever.
This is not a very good convent or whatever the fuck this is. Monastery.
Oh, dude,
orphanage.
it's
This is
the
not
worst
a very
orphanage-
spiritual place to be.
There's like drug, and meanwhile, some guy, a new character, is buying a lizard, calling it a dog, and dragging it everywhere. And they're all
I saw
talking about
that. I was
murdering
like,
friends.
What are you talking about with the iguana, dude? What's going on?
Every man should have a dog. It's a lizard.
It's a big lizard. It ain't a fucking pooch.
I don't know how to tell you this, big scary man. Lizards are not dogs.
It's a crazy book, but I love it.
Yeah, so much fun. 100 Bullets itself is a great read, and this is a nice follow-up. But I'm waiting for the part where Lono just goes berserk old school.
Yeah. I forgot to write down Satellite Sam. No, I didn't.
There's not a lot to say on it. Yeah,
No,
look.
there really isn't. I'm kind of... Well, let's do Astro City first. Then we'll get to actual Satellite Sam, which I saw next.
All right, Astro City.
Astro City number 4, where Mind Over
Over
Maddie
Mind
tells us-
Over Maddie!
tells us her life story.
Now, this is the second appearance of this character.
Yes. She tells us the story between scenes as a prisoner of Major Domo,
God, that guy sucked.
who is the dippiest villain ever to disgrace Astro fucking City.
Dude, he's awesomely bad.
He's like, I will take you and your powers, and you will be my slaves because I wish to rule the world. And they're like, no, we're going to kick your ass because we can't be buggered.
So basically, the whole storyline behind this book is that there are a lot of superpower people who don't want to be heroes and don't really want to be villains, so they just
Right.
work. And
Yeah.
they've got their own little superpower, like, they support each other.
Yeah.
Because this is not the first time that people have tried to capture them and use their powers for evil.
Yeah, they got a nice little low-key kind of self-supportive union thing going on there.
But the part where he announces that he's going to change her name to Telecaster, and she looks at the end, she looks at him, she's like, first off, Major Domo is a kind of servant, and Telecaster is a goddamn guitar. You dumb mother sucker. You're killing me.
That amused me. And that's the kind of thing I absolutely adore from my man, Kurt Busiek. Man.
And dude, the little moment at the end where Samaritan shows up, he's like, we would have helped. He's like, we don't need your help to beat up fucking somebody named Major Domo. We had 2,000 superpowers. John in there. We could have turned him into Monkey Chow.
Well, just so you know, I mean, we are the big public guys. We could have helped you keep your low key. Just, you know what? We're fine. We're all right. It's just, it's so much fun, man.
Astro City's a great
I love
book.
this book. Always have. Satellite Sam confuses me, though.
Here's my take. Let me
This is
run
number
with this
3.
for a second.
All right, go.
I feel like this is Matt Fraction's attempt to do a Howard Chaykin book.
That is a good way to put it.
I think that because there's this there's steps towards the total insanity that Chaykin can bring to the table.
Yep.
But it doesn't go there, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But so far, I mean, basically, you have a son kind of looking into his father's murder, but mostly drinking heavily.
Right.
A lot of people trying to take over a television station.
Yep.
A really screwed up co-star.
Yeah, several quickies.
Yeah. There's some of that madness in this book, but it's not like the
It never really
full-on-
goes right up to the wall.
Right,
with
like
it.
I feel like one's holding the other back from full-on Belamo nutso. I'm still enjoying it, but it's a quiet book in a way that you wouldn't think.
At all.
But you know what? I mean, it looks good. It's the dialogue is excellent. Almost too good in a sense because it feels like real conversations, and there's not always enough explanation with the conversation.
Right. Because all the characters already know what they're talking about, so they don't feel no need. They don't feel any.
They don't feel no need for no dialogue, mother sucker.
Exposition. Go fuck yourself.
It feels almost like
That
Deadwood.
might be a title.
There you go. It feels like Deadwood, though. Like there's this period thing, and every time you're watching, you're like, wait, what? No, what?
Yeah, the sentence structure is like from 7 different worlds, man.
But scenes aren't like classic comic book scenes where you
Right.
come in at the clearest beginning of the conversation that's important. You're about 2 pages past that when you come in.
Yep, and you got to kind of catch up. But I enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely a good book.
Have you felt any better about Captain Midnight?
No, it's hokey and fun. It is not a bad book at all. Captain Midnight is Back to the Future. Gotta go back in time.
Shark Fury has the captain chained up, about to feed Charlotte to the polar bears as a mirror revenge.
I love that, man. Like, who doesn't want a good mirror revenge?
The commander of the ship
Get shot.
that Captain Midnight escaped from is murdered. Just as he's about to reveal his employer, boss, whatever,
Black Sky.
Black Sky.
Which apparently is a UFO checking group
Fucking nighttime. So, whatever.
that Captain Midnight has experience with, but either doesn't remember or lies about.
Right.
And
So-
he's murdered by Helios,
Helios.
who manages to disappear
sun
from the
guy.
top of a fucking ship.
How, you might ask?
We don't know.
It's a comic. He just did it. Cap, of course, saves Charlotte by, get this, flinging a henchman to the bears.
You gotta like the moment, like this is the classic like Doc Savage moment where, Fury's in the middle of her monologue, he's like, okay, I'm done with this. And he just stands up and breaks the chain.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what? No, I just wanted to see how far you'd go with your explaining your evil plan, and now I'm gonna go thwart it.
Now, Shark Fury, shoots Charlotte, and Captain goes after her.
He didn't shoot her.
What?
She throws her out of the blimpy thing.
She didn't shoot her out of the blimp? I swear she shot her out of the blimp.
Oh, well, flung somehow. Like,
It's been 2 fucking months since I've seen it. 'Cause
But yeah, basically she goes plummeting out. The captain jumps out. And now he's got a sidekick with this girl who they're hinting at hooking up, and her ex-husband who they're hinting at hooking up.
Yeah. She's hanging on, and Shark shoots her, and she falls.
There's no bullet in there, dude.
Yeah, it hits her arm. You want to see the panel?
I believe it.
Motherfucker?
All right, I'm wrong once. Enjoy it.
I knew that shit.
Yeah. But it's an enjoyable little side book. I don't know, that's the end of the first arc, basically.
Yeah.
Is it a miniseries or is it continuing?
They are not saying just yet.
So there have been none to order of late. We haven't not been. Well, it's something, if when it comes out again, it's a quiet month, then we'll probably try it again.
Yeah, sure. Why not? So we got 2 things left.
What do we got?
One, we still have to flip another coin on to decide if we want to talk about it at all. And the Star Wars.
The Star Wars.
Which took a frightening amount of effort to just take as it stood. I largely followed what was happening, but it took a lot of effort to divest everything I already know about the names of the characters with how they're being presented in this.
You have to accept this as an Elseworlds.
Yes.
Is basically what it comes down to. And if you go into that, the art is the best thing about this.
Oh, the art's really
book
good.
Looks great.
I do have one quibble with it, though.
Everyone kind of looks like George Lucas.
Most people look like George Lucas.
That'll throw you a little bit.
A teeny bit. I was like, you're not that slim anymore, George. You've got jowls.
George Skywalker.
You've got the jowls of a prize hog, okay? You don't look like no lightsaber carrying badass. It's hard to keep track of who's who, though, because you try not to think about the names and just accept the characters as, okay, so Starkiller is a friend and compatriot of Skywalker, but Skywalker's a... What the hell are you talking about?
Skywalker's a Jedi General. Starkiller is an even better Jedi, but he's apparently 98% robot.
Yes.
And one of his sons dies in the quest to further the... I couldn't really figure out what the whole point of that fight was.
Yeah, that threw me off. I was like, wait a minute. I know there must be a purpose to this somehow.
But apparently his cyber parts are breaking down pretty fast, so he's brought his other son to train under Skywalker. Meanwhile, Thulsa Vader there. It's the all Thulsa episode. All singing, all dancing, all slaying Thulsa. Welcome to Thulsa time. Ouch. Banana, banana, banana. You can't Thulsa this.
Wow. Holy shit, that was bad. That was absolutely terrible. And you wonder why, and you think, how come we don't have listeners?
I never think that, actually. You know it. No, that may be my lowest point right there.
That was really fucking low. 156 episodes to get there. Please make it another 156 before you do that again.
I make no promise.
I know you don't. But I think it's interesting. It's got a lot more intrigue than simple, here's a good guy, here's a bad guy, and they have to fight because good and bad fight, and good has to triumph. Now, I've read a lot of people be really angry about any kind of non-fighting happening in Star Wars. It's like, what? Politics? You can't have that in Star Wars.
That's all they have in Star Wars.
You kind of have to have it because you're talking about an oppressive government. And you're talking about, people who want to change that government for the betterment. If that ain't fucking politics, what the fuck is?
The problem is that when Star Wars began, it was pure unadulterated action.
Yeah.
We just talked about before we were recording, but the most recent Die Hard, A Good Day to Die Hard, was pure unadulterated action. You can't get away with that anymore. You need more thought behind what you do.
Well, we do at our age.
Kids do too, though. Like, you don't see... It's not... That movie didn't do well.
No, I don't think it did it?
No, it did not. And there's for things to be successful, there has to be depth to them. Look at Clone Wars.
Which one?
The cartoon.
Oh, yeah. Very successful. 5 seasons?
Yep.
Tons of characterization. Multi-story arcs.
And politics. Yeah, it's not a simple, I'm going to shoot you now.
And that's... I don't have any kind of problem with that at all. But I hear angry people. I'm supposed to care about taxes? Motherfucker, this country, hello, taxes.
You have to alternate. And some of the Star Wars films, the last 3, did not alternate the action well with the politics.
Nah, they really didn't.
It's like, here's your action scene. Now let's get back to the exciting world of tariffs. I'm sorry, what was that? Tariffs? No.
But the other thing is, it's not like they actually pulled out percentages. And it's not like they said, well, Bestine has to pay 35% of its fucking Tillium tax into the retirement fund for the Bothans. And it's just like, no, they're pissed about the taxes. I mean, that's...
Well, they're also pissed about the accents, but, you know. I'm sorry, there is a moment, and to be fair, we both had it. We're not dumb guys, but when you're sitting there like, why? Shut up! Like, just shut up about taxes. Like, I do get it.
I was more shut up about the romance scenes. I was like, I know what shitty romantic dialogue gets thought up in the mind of a young hormonal idiot. And I don't want to relive any of that shit.
Been there, done that, didn't get Natalie Portman. There's your t-shirt.
And on top of that...
And there's your title.
On top of that, he delivers it with just such useless... the sand gets everywhere. It's not like you're soft. Touch my pee-pee.
Oh, God.
It was terrible.
Yeah, no, it was rough in many, many ways.
All right, so... No, we could do another hour of that shit. But we have to... do you want to?
Yeah, we got to do it.
All right.
So your obsession with Fraction made me read this.
You enjoy Matt Fraction.
I do, not to the degree you do, be fair.
Not everybody can. I mean, you like Mantlo, for fuck's sake. No, I can't say that fairly. I like Mantlo, too.
Yeah, come on.
But Fraction has developed a pair of characters who, when they have a moment, so to speak, with themselves...
Time stops.
Time stops, and they can wander around, and eventually they get the idea that if they do this at the right circumstances and times, they can commit crimes while everyone else's time has stopped. Goofy concept.
Yeah, it's a 1 in a million idea. It's...
I mean, really, fellas, this is what you got? Let's have an orgasm and stop all time. Really? What?
Fortunately, like you have to say, it's very not graphic.
No, he did keep all that kind of stuff really low key,
which I really appreciated. If I had to read this, I appreciate it not being...
Yeah, it was frank but not explicit.
On top of that, it was almost awkward. Like, there's a lot about a young girl. I'm like, dude, no. Well, not gonna do it.
In the second issue, it turns right around and goes into his story.
Oh, so, awesome.
Which is, since he's a young man, it gets even dumber.
Oh, awesome.
Well, I mean, young, stupid, discovering things.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Let's have why don't we call this even on that score? Because I don't want to do this anymore. It was a chance. The solicitations did not make it clear what was going to happen in this book.
You love Fraction, you tried something. I'm all set personally, but hey.
I read their little blurb about it, and it didn't tell me nothing like this. It said absolutely nothing. I was like, well, all right, look, Zdarsky's a fine artist. Fraction's a good writer. It's got crime in the title. So there must be something to start with. And then it does this. And I'm like, excuse me?
What did you do, Ray?
I think it's time for bed, yo. Are you ready? Let's call it a night.
Bless you, Frankie!
And away.
The Mean Geek is recorded live at the Reverend Mad Duck's apartment whenever the hell we can get to it. Find us on Facebook, Stitcher, Twitter under @TheMeanerGeek. Subscribe to us through RSS.
Or we can be located at our own site, www.themeangeek.com. And most importantly of all, you can find us as a proud member of the Comics Podcast Network.
Email us directly at themeanergeek@gmail.com.
Can I drink now?
You may.